Well, hi again, folks. I'm Greg Flynn, the Public Information Director here for the City of Pearl, and welcome in to this week's edition of This Week in Pearl. On this week's episode, we're going to take you under the dome over at the state capitol, where it is getting to be crunch time. With only 3 weeks left to go in the legislative session, there are issues and topics being thrown across the aisle on both the House and the Senate side, and you're going to hear from Senator Dean Kirby and Representative Gene Newman. We will then let you hear from the president of the Mayor's Youth Council as the snack drive continues for the patients over at Children's of Mississippi. We will introduce you to the newest member of the Pearl Fire Department. It is Sparky. You're going to love to see this new recruit and all that he's going to be able to do here in the city for our schools, well, and for all the organizations that we have to talk about fire safety. We'll tell you about Pearl Day. We'll tell you about March of the Mayors. We'll tell you about the Firefighter of the Month and the Employee of the Month. A jam-packed full show for you this week. Stay tuned. This Week in Pearl continues right after this.
Hello, I'm Mayor Wyndham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl to enjoy a Mississippi Braves baseball game or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
All right, welcome back into This Week in Pearl. I'm Greg Flynn, the Public Information Director here for the city, and we are now going to go under the dome over at the state capitol and welcome in, well, our two distinguished gentlemen who have not been up here together, well, in a couple of weeks, because we had the highfalutin, we first had the speaker, and then we had the lieutenant governor that came in. It's nice to have you guys back to get your insight.
Nice to be back. Thank you very much for having us.
You guys had your time off, and as I told the senator, I'm like, last week was his best show ever because he sat right in that seat and just listened to the lieutenant governor.
You know, I probably didn't talk 2 minutes the whole time. I kind of enjoyed it, actually.
It is quite a change from every day over at the Capitol. Well, gentlemen, I guess we're going to be getting down to the brass tacks of money as appropriations bills are going to take center stage this week, are they not?
They are, definitely. I think tomorrow's the deadline for us to bring them up, to bring them up on the floor, actually, for those originating in the Senate. And then someone will probably hold one on a motion to reconsider, and then we'll have the next day to table the motion to reconsider. But yeah, it's been quite a challenge this year.
I know on paper it looks like it's an important time with appropriations bills that, okay, they're going to start moving. But it all winds up on that final weekend of the legislative session anyway in conference. I would say for, what, 80% of those appropriation bills?
That's true. And a lot of other bills right now. A lot of bills have reverse repealers in them. I told someone instead of having a conference weekend, we're going to have conference week this year. It's going to be a lot of bills that have to be worked out. So it's going to be a real challenge. It already is a real challenge, believe me.
Gene, being I call it a younger statesman there at the Capitol, do you kind of see now that it feels like you're really, even the simplest of bills right now are being really scrutinized and held up over bigger bills that are, you know, collateral damage?
Let's just say it like it is. We're fighting over the tax issue, and we're because of that, because you have the lieutenant governor with one opinion and the speaker with one opinion, and they're both hard-headed gentlemen, and we'll leave that at that. And you know, they keep maneuvering around trying to get their way, and that, look, they're doing what they believe. They both sincerely believe that they're doing what they think's right for the state. They just have different opinions. But you know, meanwhile, we have all these bills that the rest of the Senate and the rest of the House has out there that we're trying to get passed for constituents back home, or because of simply issues that we believe that needs to be done. and you know, we keep working and we keep doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we just keep our heads down so we don't get hit.
I think one of the big ones that, you know, even you were had to take to social media over the last week is the teacher pay raise. Is that everybody thought that was a no-brainer? Okay, here we go, but now it's in question.
Well, no, it's not in question. It's just we're still winning the news. We're still trying to win the news cycle. So, you know, we've one-upped them again, and you know, and I say we, it's the committee, the education committee that put that out there, so we took some parts of what they were doing and put it in ours, and we increased the whole bill a little bit. So, you know, the teachers, if it passes the way it is, or some form, and I believe that we can afford it, and we will get something worked out with the Senate. It's, like I say, it's just winning the news cycle.
Dean, I guess this is one of those, truly now we're getting into the part of the year where, you know, it was a lot of great rainbows and unicorns at the beginning of the session.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of big stuff passed, and we thought we were on a good track, but now we're truly into the sausage making process that normally the public is just like, man, I don't want to see how that's made. It's disgusting, but it tastes good at the end, right?
That's right. The end result's always good. So, yeah, I feel real good about, you know, what Gene was just talking. I was thinking about years ago with my first term, and my wife told me then, I cannot believe you voted against this bill. And she said, look, as far as I'm concerned, I'm never going to help you in another election over one issue now. Like I say, we vote 10,000 times in 90 days, but that didn't matter. That one issue was important to her. And I said, well, let me explain why. I know why. I watch the news. I know the bill. I know, blah, blah. I said, well, let me explain. You don't have to explain. I understand, she said. I said, okay. About a week later, she read in the paper, well, you didn't tell me, she said. You didn't tell me that this was also in that bill. I said, you wouldn't let me. And she said, well, then I'm sorry. You know, but it was something that would really hurt Rankin County in that particular bill, and I wasn't going to vote for it, even though I liked the original part of the bill. So, yeah, it's a lot more to it than it appears sometimes, and you only hear one side or one part. Now, getting back to the education bill, I do think, I mean, we all want our teachers to not only be what they call the southeastern average, and of course you're talking about states that are much larger, and a lot of them that standard of living is a lot higher, but we all agree we won't even pay our teachers more than they do in Florida or Georgia or wherever. You know, we feel like we have good teachers, and we feel like the more we pay them, the better teachers we'll have, and more people will want to get an education. So there's no disagreement there. It's just how to get there, like you say, like making that sausage. The end result's going to be good. Our teachers, our teacher assistants are going to be, teachers assistants. I started to say reading teachers. That's what they used to call some of them. But anyway, they're all going to be okay. And I think they're all going to be happy. It's not what everyone's going to want, probably. It never is, because some want this, and you know, we can afford that, and we'll try to meet in the middle and see what we can work out. It's it's that time of year, and it will work out, and we'll have some good bills, and I think we'll have some type of tax bill. I don't know if it'll be in a special session. I don't know if it'll be in this session, but I know that the Senate's willing to work, and I feel sure the House is willing to work with us, and let's come up with something to help the people. But the only main difference is now we don't raise any taxes on anything, and there is an offset that the House has, and so we've got to work that out. You know, I think we can.
One of the things, and I know that in talking to the speaker and in the past is, you know, it sounds great about that user-based, you know, fees, you know, taxes, as he liked to refer to them as. One of those, you know, things that popped up over this last week is gas prices. So now if we would have had, you know, the additional tax on gas, you know, usage and such, my goodness, where would we be at now? I cannot believe that here in Mississippi that we're over $4 a gallon already. And I know there's nothing at a state level that you all can do about that, but it is definitely sticker shock, is it not?
Without a doubt. You know, that tax that was proposed last year in the House, had we enacted that tax, we'd be sitting 40 cents higher than where we are right now.
Unbelievable. And while it sounds good on the surface, right? That was when gas was, $2 under $2 a gallon.
$1.73 or
yeah,
whatever,
and so at that time you're like, oh, well, yeah, we could handle the 40 cents because that would take it up to like $2.10.
Well, I remember seeing it $1.41 once. Yeah, now it's over $4.
Yeah,
and they're saying going up every day. It seems that it goes up more. So,
as a state, I mean, and again, the people at home, it gets, because we deal with it every day. I've dealt with it for a lot of years. You guys certainly have. The state has really no control over the gas prices that come in here. We have to
get
market value, right?
18 cents a gallon, and regardless whether it's $10 or $1 a gallon, we get 18 cents a gallon. So, yeah.
When we talk,
the thing about with the gas, oil, you have to realize that's all set by federal policy, and their objective is to drive people into these battery-operated cars, so they don't have an issue with raising the prices. And the proof is that you have a lot of people in Mississippi that are still sitting at the house that were working on production rigs and drilling rigs out in the Gulf or around Mississippi even, that are now shut down. Yeah, I know personally several guys that were working in Texas that are back home now that are laid off because the policies of the current administration has forced them to shut drilling down. So when you shut down all the oil production in this country and put us back relying on foreign countries to get oil, there's your problem.
Well, and it goes back to when we're trying to eliminate the state income tax or reduce the state income tax. My goodness, people are really hurting now. I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of pickup trucks in Rankin County, and they got big gas tanks. And when I hear that it costs more than $100 to fill up, if you're a worker and you're driving that truck and you're filling up every week, well, you've just added $60 a week that you're now having to pay. That's going to take a hurt, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I filled up Saturday. It was a little over $85 on the SUV. So yeah.
And and again, I remember the speaker was in and made that really strong argument that's like, we got to get money back in people's pockets. The lieutenant governor came in, he wants to get money back in people's pockets. Anywhere between $100 and $1,000, we're just going to automatically send back. Speaker wants to, this year. Speaker wants to make sure, hey, we're going to let you keep all of your money because anything you paid into state income tax. It's just finding that middle ground, I think. And this gas situation is really exacerbating that.
It is.
And then
it's not just gas. Let's go to the grocery store and you're spending twice as much or 3 times as much as you were to buy just regular food. I mean, forget steaks and that kind of stuff. I mean, just regular food, items that you have to go buy, is the price goes up every time you walk in that grocery store.
I mean, a loaf of bread now, almost $4. Milk.
Dog food. Whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Anything.
Well, one thing, I'm glad you mentioned that. One thing I didn't want to talk about, and it goes to the political process because you mentioned dog food. There was a big bill that has a lot of the animal activists, a lot of people that just love animals, that passed the Senate. It was Senate Bill 2261. It's called Buddy's Law. It is a bill that would have stiffened the penalties on animal cruelty, and specifically to minors, to adolescents, that if they are convicted or found to be felony cruelty to an animal, that would automatically trigger like a psychological evaluation or stiffer things for that. First time it came through because it was a dog recently this past year that was burned by some kids
in DeSoto County.
Up in DeSoto County, and nothing really happened to the kids because they're juveniles, and because Mississippi's animal cruelty laws, if you listen to some, are very lax, very weak. That bill did not make it out of, while it passed the Senate, it did not make it out of the House, but more of a formality, according to your chairman.
Okay, so I sit on Judd B, and Judd B chairman Nick Bain is from Alcorn County. He did not bring the bill up. I can't speak specifically as to why, other than he's a lawyer and he had a legal issue with the bill, and he said he did not have time to fix the bill at that point in time. We fight deadlines all the way through the process, and the work that they do on bills, it's the chairman's choice as to what he brings forward to the committee, and he did not bring it forward. Now it's my understanding that Senator Hill, who had authored the bill, has put that language in another bill, and hopefully she did. When you talk about the bill looked good, to me as the average citizen. But when you start talking about dealing with the mental health and all the problems that we have with right now with the mental health system, just saying that they've got to go have a mental health evaluation and trying to do that, you don't know how a judge is going to read that, what's going to happen whenever actually you put it into practice. So I think he's right to be careful. We want to make sure if we're going to pass something that it actually works. And even when we pass something that does actually work, we still get judges that decide that's not what we actually said.
Well, and Dean, you could speak to this because you've been around for so much legislation that it takes, for right or for wrong, it takes a few cycles of the legislature to go through a bill as it's presented, just to weed out the what ifs,
right.
what coulda, shouldas, right?
That's right. One of the best sounding bills that may be introduced, on an average, takes 3 years to pass, and that's being deliberate, that's being careful, that's being conservative, that's being whatever, to try to cover all the loopholes and to make sure that we're doing a bill, and before it is voted on, make sure that it's a good bill and that we have the votes. And
it's got to be cautious. I mean, there's nobody up there. I can speak this. I'm going to just speak a generality. Nobody up there wants to see kids being cruel to animals. Okay, right?
That's
so
right.
We know that that's not the case. He's not holding that up because he wants it to be okay. It's because of the legal system that has to go forward. Once you guys send that thing out the door, you want to make sure, hey, we're not doing something that's a little too putting the cart ahead of the horse, right?
Well, that's right. Like I say, probably 50% of our bills are cleanup language from bills that have passed maybe 10 years ago or last year or whenever, that some judge or some lawyer found a loophole in, and we have to correct it. And so, yeah, you have to be very careful.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Again, it's Buddy's Law. We'll take a look at Senator Hill if she has reintroduced it somewhere else to get that vetted perhaps a little bit more. Redistricting. I know that is a huge deal for you. We thought it was going pretty well, and it did for congressional districts. But now that you're getting down to the brass tacks of your buddies that sit across the tables from you, they're in both chambers, it's a little more contentious now.
Yeah, I've been their best friend all year. Until now. And now some are finding that maybe their districts are going to be combined with another district, or that their district has changed and they don't represent a certain part of the county that they've been representing. And but we have no choice. We have federal guidelines that we have to go by that are very strict on compactness of a district. Once a minority district, always a minority district. They don't like for you to cross a river. They don't like, the federal government doesn't. They don't like you. They don't like split precincts at all. And to make the numbers work, you have to split some precincts. Yeah, it's a real challenge. I had no idea when I got volunteered for that to be chairman of the Senate and vice chairman of the joint. I had no idea what I was getting into, even though I've been through reapportionment or redistricting 3 times now. I wasn't on the committee, and I certainly wasn't the chairman. And now I understand. It used to really make me angry that in Rankin County, like my district would have 70,000 people, supposed to have 56,000. And I'd get over there, it has a variance of 5% one way or the other. And I'd get over there and I'd have 59,900, which is like the maximum you can have. And I'd look over in the Delta and they would have, their original districts to start with had 37,000. And now we got them up to the minimum of 54,000. I think, well, that's not right. We're in a county that's growing and we're being mistreated because those people are moving out of the Delta. Well, that's the federal law. That's what we have to do. Then when you find out that you had 65,000 people that left the Delta in the last 10 years, and it has to retain or maintain being I guess, retain being a minority district. And if they go to the east they pick up Republicans, and so they can't do that, so they've got to go south. And then you find the city of Jackson, who all their legislators lost. I mean, we had one that had, he was way below the minimum, 10,000 below the minimum, others 6,000 and 8,000. So they had to go south. Couldn't go north because they'd pick up too many Republicans up there. It wouldn't be a minority district in Madison County, South Madison. So they had to go south. And then you have the coast people that all had too many people and had to cut back, and the ones above them had too many people. And so it all just kind of all comes and goes to a point, and that's the ones that aren't happy with me where it got to that point. And they don't know they're unhappy with me, but they're soon to find out. But overall, I would think that the majority by far of the senators will be very happy with their district, and not because for re-election, but for their people. You want people that have things in common, to have representation. They want a senator up there and a House member that they know, that they trust, that someone that'll work for them and push the issues they want. And if you're not careful and you start drawing too long of districts, and the ones from the other side of maybe not even the same county, but another county, they don't really have a lot in common. So you've got to, it's a real puzzle. But I will say this, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the people I know probably don't believe this. I'm sure they don't, but I would say 98% in the Senate of the people that are there truly are there to represent and serve. Now, they want to get reelected. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't want to get reelected, but they put the people above themselves. They really do. But that's not the perception you get. I know the very first meeting I went to when I first got there, and this guy at the time was a Democrat, and he's been pushing for years to four-lane road in his. You've heard me say this before. Wanted a four-lane road in his district that really needed it, and we were low on money and didn't have enough money. And as the chairman, he said, "I think it's more important that Highway 25 going to Starkville." Is four-lane to save the lives of those children. We've had too many kids going to school at Mississippi State, and it's more important that we four-lane that than we do in my district. And I thought, well, this isn't what I thought at all. I've read the paper, I've seen the news, I know that I didn't think I was going to fit in with those folks. And then he just throws me a curveball saying, it's not what I want, it's what's best for the state and for the people. And I really believe, with all my heart, I really believe that by far the majority of the legislators, not just in the Senate, but in the House as well, are there to make a difference and to make our state better.
Gene, as we come down to the brass tacks here of the session, speak to the constituency. What is it that you want them to know as we head into some potential rough waters in these battles that we're going to see over the next 3 weeks?
What I want them to know is that the majority of the House members and the majority of the senators are friends, and that we're going to do what we can to make sure the state is taken care of. That we'll work together every place that we can, and we also all know the rules, and we're going to play by the rules, and we're going to do what's necessary to make sure we take care of the people of the state of Mississippi.
We just had the selection show yesterday. It is officially March Madness, and not only on the basketball court, but I think that we've got some March Madness that is happening under the dome over there, and you don't even have a hoop.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a little dome gas going on over there, though.
Well, I wish you guys the best of luck. I know it's going to be some tough sledding.
It is, and people are going to be frustrated, and legislators are going to be frustrated because their bill died or was amended or whatever. But again, like you say, like making that sausage, when it gets down to the final product, it'll be good, I think. And
I truly do believe that our school teachers don't need to worry, that we are going to find a way to solve that one.
I believe that. So help me, I believe it.
And one thing for people to remember, no matter what's getting done right now, what's done in March is not what's going to be finished in April, and then it's whatever takes place in July. July 1st is when everything will take effect. And
That's
by
right.
July 1st, everything
right.
will be A-okay with these big issues, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. And even if it's dead, or it's dead, it ain't dead, and if it ain't dead, we can still get it done.
Heaven, and we know that special session is looming, right? I mean,
Oh,
you never like to think about it, but special session is on the table.
Well, I think if we don't come to an agreement and conference and compromise on some of these things, yes, I would expect the governor to call special session. And he should.
And neither one of us want that, and neither house wants that, because when you let the governor call the special session, he's in control.
He controls the topic and controls what can be talked about and what
That's
can be
right.
added.
That's right.
We will pray for you.
We need that.
Again, it's part of the process.
It is.
And we worked real hard to get there. So, we don't want to let the people down. We're going to do the best we can.
Well, gentlemen, we will let you get back to that building behind you and get to business. And
Thank you.
We will talk to you guys again next week.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more This Week in Pearl right after this.
Anybody can live in a neighborhood, but not everyone gets to reside within a true community. Our vast array of community organizations not only provide opportunities to give back, get involved, and come together, they create a sense of pride for our city and continue to help forge the community our residents are proud to call home. Doing better by working together. Community starts here.
Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. I'm Greg Flynn, the Public Information Director for the City of Pearl. And right now we're going to be joined by a very special guest. It is the president of the Mayor's Youth Council, Michaela Sills, and she's here to talk to us about the snack drive that's ongoing for the kids over at
That's
Children's
right.
of Mississippi.
Yes.
Well, welcome in.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here.
Well, we are excited to have you. And, just for the folks out there, we talk all the time about the Mayor's Youth Council, and it is the cream of the crop over there at Pearl High School, the seniors and even some juniors mixed
That's
in. Right. What is it that you guys do as the Mayor's Youth Council?
Well, we have meetings, and I'm the president this year, and I really enjoy it. I've gotten to know his secretary and Miss Kathy really well, and I enjoy it. We do a lot of community service together inside and outside of the school for the city. So,
Well, and that's one of the things that I think, really puts a positive light, that Pearl shines with this, to give you guys an opportunity, not only for community service, but to hang out together.
Right. Yeah, the Mayor's Wellness Walk was probably one of the best things that we do every year. It's outside, and we really enjoy just like hanging out and encouraging everybody that's, walking. And that's at Trustmark Park. And like I said, not all of it's like just at Pearl High School. So.
Well, it's kind of like both ends of the spectrum. The Mayor's Wellness Walk is awesome, and that involves mainly our senior citizens from our Senior Services Center over there. So, man, their face just lights up when they get to see you young folks over there, don't they?
Yes, it's so much fun, and I really enjoy doing stuff like that. So.
Well, now on the other side, we now are going to go from, really helping out senior citizens to helping out the young patients over there at Children's of Mississippi.
Yes.
And you were a part of this drive last year.
Yes, so Miss Kathy is the one that normally starts it off really strong, and she really encourages us. And now that we have Miss Amber, she has she's doing the same thing. And so we just need all the snacks, all the microwave meals, just anything we can get for these kids.
Well, if you could, we have we'll put it up on the screen for folks at home, what exactly is on there. So when we talk about single serve snacks, what are some of the things that people can donate off of there?
Yes, you can bring chips, goldfish, Cheez-Its, applesauce, pickles, beef jerky, Little Debbie snacks, Capri Suns, peanut butter crackers, popcorn, fruit snacks, freezer pops, and just so much more, like anything that you think your kid would want if they were stuck in the hospital. And
we also are accepting microwavable meals too, the single serve?
Yes. Mac and cheese, any type of noodles, the ones you heat up, oatmeal, grits, and Chef Boyardee, like SpaghettiOs, anything like that would be perfect.
Oh, can you imagine SpaghettiOs and ravioli? Whole lot better than what they're eating at the hospital, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
So that's a lot of fun. One of the things that they instituted last year is this new pill school training that they have over there at the hospital, and people can donate to that too.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but I think it's super cool. And you can bring mini M&Ms, Nerds, Tic Tacs, fruit roll-ups, and sprinkles, of all things. So much fun.
Anything that's kind of really small candies that it teaches them to, okay, you're not going to choke, like a little Skittle that you can take a pill, and then just in case they can then chew it up and it won't be nasty as they learn. Was it hard for you as a kid to learn how to take medicine?
No, but I remember my brother, he would just about throw up every time, so I totally get it.
You think it would have worked, the mini M&Ms would have worked with him?
And he would have just eaten them all. He would have just eaten all of them.
Well, this is running through March the 31st. We have a big bucket in the lobby at City Hall, and we really would like people. Right now, it keeps getting full, and then we empty it, and it fills up again. Why do you want to encourage people to come out and donate?
Well, I just like to put it in the perspective of, like, if that was your kid, you would want your kid to be, like, well nourished and also be enjoying what they're eating while they're in the hospital, And so
it's bad enough that they have to be there, and you can only eat what? I mean, everybody knows what they talk about with hospital food. You can only eat lime Jello so much, right?
Nasty.
It is nasty. Well, you guys are doing an awesome job over there at the Youth Council. We look forward to having you guys deliver it this year. It looks like that the COVID restrictions are probably going to be lifted.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue at all at this point, especially with this and getting the food to them.
Yeah, last year we filled up an entire fire truck. Our rescue truck was full with snacks, and we drove it over to the hospital. And you guys couldn't really be a part last year because of the COVID restrictions. But I do remember 2 years ago, you guys took that stuff over there, and the kids just get so excited. The staff there gets so excited with all of the snacks that come in. Just awesome, and just keep up the good work. You guys are doing great stuff over there.
Yes, sir. We do try to keep them in line,
Well, again, we're going to pop that back up on the screen. You can bring those donations right here to Pearl City Hall, which is at 2420 Old Brandon Road. Runs till the end of the month, March the 31st. Right now, you can bring it by during business hours, 8 to 5. But if you can't get through to here on the weekdays, give us a call. We'll make arrangements to get that picked up, because the snacks are super, super important to those kids. Michaela, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much, Mr. Greg. I enjoyed it.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more This Week in Pearl right after this.
I'm Officer Kyle Carmerdale.
And I'm Officer Alfred Jenkins, School Resource Officer with the Pearl Police Department. And our job is to protect students.
Here in Pearl, we have zero tolerance for drivers that break school bus laws. There are 4 things to know. Stop at least 10 feet from the bus when it is loading or unloading. Don't move until kids have crossed the street to or from the bus. The flashing red lights are no longer activated. The stop sign on the side of the bus is retracted.
When we catch you, you get a ticket up to $750, up to a year in jail, or both.
Please pay attention so every student can get to school and home safely.
Well, hi, folks. I'm Greg Flynn, the Public Information Director here for the City of Pearl, and we are at the Central Fire Station, the headquarters of the Pearl Fire Department, and we're going to introduce you to the newest firefighter here in the Pearl Fire Department family. Mayor, why don't you help us out? And he is a sharp-dressed man. He is Sparky. He was once a staple here at the fire department, and now he is back. He is bigger, better, and softer than ever, I believe so. And we're joined here by a bunch of our guests who have made this happen. We've got Representative Gene Newman, our Alderman Sammy Williams, Cindy Williams from Community Bank, of course our Mayor Jake Wyndham, and we're going to get to Sparky in just a second. And our Fire Chief, it is Brad Thornton. And Chief, I know this has been really something near and dear to your heart, was to be able to get a Sparky back in the Pearl Fire Department.
Absolutely it is. Public education, fire prevention, we really like to focus on those 2 areas inside our city. Each year almost 3,000 Americans die by fire inside a home right here in the United States. And City of Pearl is not exempt from that. We have several house fires each year, and unfortunately over the years we've lost several of our citizens to fire.
Well, what Sparky does is he makes it fun, primarily for kids. All us adults love Sparky, but he makes it primarily fun for kids.
Absolutely. If we start that fire prevention education early, grades 2, 3, 4, 5, hopefully that's something that's going to stick with them through their adolescent, teenage, and adult years.
Well, I want to get a look at Sparky. Josh, if you can zoom in on Sparky. This is like a modern day suit, and we're not going to tell you who's in there, but we are going to talk to Sparky. Sparky, what do you think about your new suit?
Oh, we love it. We're very looking forward to getting out and talking to the kids about fire prevention and getting to know each and every one of you.
Well, this is some very cool stuff. If you've ever been to Disney World, this Sparky Suit is super cool. The eyes move. Why don't you tell us about some of the other things this Sparky has?
Well, obviously the Sparky will talk with you and he can communicate with you. We've got music that'll Sparky sings with, and it's just a fun thing that we do now. And it's an excellent suit that we have now that the mayor and our sponsors have come up with for us to purchase.
Well, Mayor, if you could come here a little bit closer. You know, one of the things that you really like in your days in law enforcement is, being able to reach kids and, getting them educated about safety. And this is just an absolute great thing.
When you have a suit like this come into a classroom with a lot of kids, they're going to respond a lot better than just having the average adult. So when you see this is going to intrigue them, and they're going to be more inclined to listen to Sparky talk than they are me and Chief or anybody else, because it's a very, very nice suit, and it's going to capture the kids' imagination, and that's what we're trying to do so we can further along the public education that Chief Thornton talked about.
Well, this is just fantastic. The mouth moves, the eyes move. It's just so realistic, and the voice that comes through. Some of the people that were, we have great public-private partnerships, and some of the folks that helped make this happen. I want to come back over here to Cindy Williams with Community Bank, and boy, this is a lot of fun. You guys were a sponsor to help make Sparky come to life.
Yeah, that's something that is near and dear to my heart, and also with Community Bank. This is such a worthwhile cause, going out into our schools and teaching our children what they need to do, what they need to look for, and what not to do. So that's something that Community Bank and myself is that we really like giving back to our community.
Well, and you're kind of you got a little extra knowledge because your husband, Sammy Williams, who is now an alderman here for us. Sammy, this is just awesome from your days in the fire service.
It's just come a long ways. We can get out and teach the kids, keep them safe. They go home and the parents may get a little aggravated when, Mama, you need to do this or that, but we start them young, like Chief said, and they learn, and and this new Sparky suit's just awesome. That old one was hot, and it was just, this is fantastic. These sponsors are great to do this.
Well, and one of those other sponsors is a man that we all know very, very well. It's Representative Gene Newman, who, you felt it was important to help step up to bring us a new Sparky.
Well, you don't know how important firemen are until you really need them, until those red lights pull up in front of your house when you've got a house fire, which I've personally experienced, or you have them pull up in front of your house because you have a medical emergency, which I've personally experienced. So these guys are so important, but it's so important to teach these kids how to deal with the firemen and how important the firemen are and how important to understand fire safety and just safety in general. It's worthwhile.
It really is. And Chief Thornton, one of the things, that's exactly right. You don't really want to see you guys when the lights are coming down the street, but this is a way to kind of make kids understand how to prevent things on the front end, and then also not necessarily get scared when you guys do show up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting out in these schools, introducing ourselves to them, they seeing us, it puts a face with who we are. They're used to seeing the fire truck go down the road, with the lights and the sirens and the horn. Sometimes that can be a little bit overwhelming, especially to small children. But then when they seen these really nice, kind gentlemen walk into a classroom, sit down, talk with them, read to them, visit with them, it makes them a little bit more comfortable.
Well, Sparky, give us a little preview of what are some of the messages you want to give to the young kids in the classroom when they do get to see you?
Well, we want to start out by making sure you check your smoke detectors. We want to make sure you have a fire escape plan. And we want to make sure that everybody is being safe by every means necessary. One of our main words is safety. We want to make sure that you and everybody around you are safe.
Well, this is an absolutely fantastic program. We are so excited to not only have a new Sparky, but he's such state-of-the-art, and you guys are going to love seeing him around town. It is a great endeavor for the fire department, and ultimately, the most important thing is to save lives. Right, Chief?
Absolutely. That's what we want to do, is educate the public so that somewhere down the road, it might spark something in their memory. Maybe I should do this, or maybe I shouldn't do this, which will save lives and property in the end.
Well, be on the lookout. You are definitely going to see the newest member of the Pearl Fire Department, Sparky, around town very, very soon.
WPBP and PMB-TV would like to thank our latest sponsor, Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts is located at 403 Riverwind Drive. With over 32 different types of donuts, they can take care of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can now choose from their menu of sandwiches, wraps, and muffins. And don't forget the drinks. Along with coffee, espressos, and lattes for your morning drive, they also have soft drinks, cold brew coffees, and smoothies. The Pearl Pirates run on Dunkin' Donuts.
Hey, we've got a couple of really great things going on that we need you guys to know about. First of all, Pearl Day tickets are on sale for April the 29th. Jamison Rogers is going to headline the event over in the North Lot at Trustmark Park. Jamison is going to put on a fantastic show. He's going to be preceded by Nico Moon, a rising up-and-coming country artist. Two great acts for you, Jamison Rogers, Nico Moon. Again, that's April the 29th over at Trustmark Park. You can get your tickets right now. They're on sale through Eventbrite. $20 for a general admission ticket. Once you get in, it's up to you to find the best seat in the house. You can bring blankets, lawn chairs, chill out, sit back, enjoy some of the great concessions that they're going to have all over the parking lot there. Gates are going to open at 6, and a great night of music ahead for you. Right now, we are coming to the end of the March of the Mayors. That is a drive for the food pantries here in the metro area. The City of Pearl has partnered with other cities in the metro to raise canned goods, non-perishable goods. The City of Pearl has been assigned canned corn. Now, this drive is going to end March the 22nd. That's this coming Tuesday. We need as many cans of corn as we can get donated and brought here to the lobby at City Hall. They're asking for us to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 cans, and we're not quite halfway to that goal yet, so we need a big push here on this final weekend and then Monday and Tuesday of next week. So if you can, please go out, get some canned corn, and bring it to the lobby here at City Hall. When we come back, we're going to tell you about a couple of great accolades that were handed out in the city to our Firefighter of the Month and our City Employee of the Month. And we will, of course, tell you how you can stay connected all the time to the goings-on here in the city. Stay tuned. This Week in Pearl continues right after this.
I'm Sharon James, the chair of Touch a Truck Jackson, presented by the Junior Leader Jackson.
And I'm Stephanie Brown, co-chair of Touch a Truck.
We invite you to join us at this year's event at Trustmark Park on Saturday, March the 26th.
We're excited to welcome you back in person for this year's event, where you'll have the opportunity to explore trucks, emergency response vehicles, heavy machinery, and other equipment like never before.
This is a family-friendly event, so there's something for everyone. All proceeds will fund the mission of Junior League of Jackson. For more information, visit touchatruckjackson.com.
Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. Before we go, we want to let you know about a couple of honors that were bestowed upon a couple of our city employees this past week. First, our Firefighter of the Month is Lieutenant Matt Fagan. Matt is an awesome firefighter over there at Central Fire Station. He is a homegrown Pearlite. He graduated from Pearl High School in 2005. After graduation, he went to Hines Community College. He played on the golf team there. Then he went to Mississippi State and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in history. He's worked at the Pearl Municipal Golf Course. He's joined the fire department, and he is just all about public service. Congratulations to Lieutenant Matt Fagan, our Firefighter of the Month. Our City Employee of the Month is Orlando Red. He works in dispatch over at the Pearl Police Department. Orlando is one of the lifelines that you may hear if you ever have to call 911. He also answers the general police line when you call in just with a question, but Orlando is a night shift supervisor and just a superhuman being. Not only is he a dispatcher, he is a volunteer firefighter down in Terry, and he's also an emergency medical technician for Pafford Ambulance Service. Orlando, another great public servant, and he was honored by our Chamber of Commerce with the Employee of the Month. So congratulations to Lieutenant Matt Fagan, our Firefighter of the Month, and Orlando Red, he is our City Employee of the Month. And thank you so much to the Chamber of Commerce to provide such great goodies for these guys to show their appreciation for all the hard work that they do. Hey, you can stay connected to the City of Pearl all the time. We hand out news left and right. The number one way you can do it is by simply texting the word Pearl on your cell phone to 91896. That's the word Pearl to 91896, and you'll receive text alerts that we send out for important goings-on here in the city. You can follow us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with pictures, little notes, what's going on in the city by following us on social media. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the name Pearl Government. You can also go to cityofpearl.com for information all the time to many of your frequently asked questions, as well as a directory of all the city departments that you can call to find out answers to all of the issues that you may be having here in the city. Well, that's going to do it for a jam-packed This Week in Pearl. We thank you for joining us. Remember, folks, the city of Pearl is a great place to live, work, and play, which is why we are indeed the jewel of the Crossroads.